Okay, so here's a video to replace the mirror and remove the door card on an Evoque 2, the ones with the pop-out handles. I got myself one of these off Amazon for 12 quid and obviously bought a new mirror for £250. Alright, so let's get into it. So here's the door card, and on the right hand side you'll see a small grab, a rubber grab just about here. It's really tight, there's no tolerance around this, so just get a really thin tool around the outside and just try and prise it out from the top first, and then prise it out from around the side. That'll pop off. I slightly damaged my one, but that's absolutely fine. You can just rub it off at the top at the end. And behind there is a Torx 20. Okay, so remove that. That's the first nut to remove. Got my handy magnet there. Okay, so the next one is follow it down, and underneath you'll find another Torx 20. These are the only Torx 20s on the outside here that need to be removed. So second one we take out is this one. Dead easy, they come out. Keep them safe. Okay. So behind the plastic door handle here, another two Torx bolts holding the whole door card on. You just prise it off. There's about 8 poppers holding this thing on. Just work your way over it. You'll feel them pop off, and there you go. And okay, so there's two Torx 30s. These, one there, one there. That one's in a slight channel, but they're dead easy to come out. Okay, so let's just remove this one, and that's fine. And then the second one we can take out just here. And that is all in terms of bolts that hold the door card on. The rest is held on with poppers, which I'll show you in a second. Just take this one out. Good. Right, next. You may have noticed the door handle's back on there. I had to run an errand, but I guarantee the bolts are off. Now look down the side of here. This is where you've got to put one of those thin... You try and use one of these and literally prise the door off. From the top here, it's just trim fasteners holding these on. All the way around, and just get behind the door card, and it's literally a case of popping it off. This was a cold day, actually. I did this. I warmed up the car beforehand, because if you do it when it's cold, you don't want to risk these poppers snapping. It's a real pain. You have to go main dealer, buy them, or get them online. It's just hass. So just make sure everything's warm, otherwise plastics get very brittle when it gets cold. There you go. So you can see these poppers behind there. So then once you can see them, you can actually put the tool just next to the next one and just work your way around and popping these things off. You can hear them popping off. And actually when you get to a certain point, you can actually get your hand behind it and just gently pull, and you'll hear them all coming off. Perfect. Okay. Last one on this side. Again, just work your way around. Okay, so job done. So the top is held on by different clips, so you need to give these a good tug, as it were, just along here. Okay, so put both hands on each side. Now don't put it too hard, because you've got your electric windows and various other wires that are still attached to the door card at this point, so just... That's it, just give it like that. Okay, so now it's free. Rest it on something because of all the wires, and I'll show you the wires in a second. Okay, I've just put it on a box here just to keep it at the same height. Okay, and behind, oh yeah, actually, one of the poppers or a couple of the poppers might actually get stuck in. And you need to take these out, otherwise the door card won't go back on. So just prise it out with a tool like this, and that's what one of these fastening clips looks like. Put it back in the door card as such. That's fine. That's how it pops back in, and then that'll be ready to go back in at the end. Absolutely perfect. Like I said, try and do it on a warm day so that those things don't snap and they're brittle or whatnot. All right, so this is the plugs here. So the big plug is for the mirror, and the little plug is for the tweeter. Let's get the big plug off. Oh, this is the shroud that you need to remove. Just that pulls off essentially, and it gives you access to the mirror. There's 3 mirror bolts behind there, Torx 30s. and this thing's the first thing that probably needs to come off. There is a fastener that holds it here, but you can just lift that over it and just prise this thing off. You might need to work it off. It's a bit fiddly, most things are. Again, need to try and get the plastic warmish. You don't want to damage any of this. And then there you go. So you can see the bolts actually behind it. There's 3 Torx 30 bolts. Now, if you were just doing the mirror at this stage, you wouldn't need to take any more of the door card off. Everything's released as it could be, and then you could start taking the plug off and then the mirror. Okay, so this is a locking bit of plastic in the plug itself. So just lift that up with a thin screwdriver. Don't lose it. It could pop out. Just put your hand and just keep it safe. All right, push the screwdriver into the slot of the plug there. Plug comes off. So that's for the mirror. Mirror release now. Okay. And then the tweeter. Again, you don't need to do this unless you're removing the door card itself. So just because I said I'd show you how to remove a door card, we're doing this. This, again, put the thin screwdriver into this slot here and just ease it out. And that's the tweeter released. There's another couple of wires that I'll show you in a second that needs to come out of the door card to actually remove it completely. What you've got on the right here is the cable. That's the door locking cable on the right, and the wires on the left are for the electric windows and the seats or whatnot. Now, be careful with the cable. This cable here, it's a real pain. Oh, actually, I'll show you this first underneath. So underneath, this is the cables for the electric windows and seats or whatnot. So there's just a couple of plugs. Don't need a screwdriver or anything. Just need to push the small button there. Remove this one. And same on the other one. Again, a small button underneath. And just push that up and remove that. They're different sizes, so you're not going to get confused when you put it back. And off that one comes. That's 2 of those released. Again, the door lock cable is very tricky when they go wrong. You don't want to break this. And I have done before, and then you have to take all the door skin, and it's a real hassle. So just pop this out like that. That's held in there, and then that lifts up. There's only one way that comes out. So you have to pull it out like that, and then lift it up, and that's released. And this is the final cable that comes off. It's on the top, it's like almost on a sensor, and that is the easiest part to remove it by. So just pull those tabs apart and this thing pops off. There is a plug halfway down, but it was really difficult to release. This is by far the easiest way of doing it. And essentially that's the door card released now. If you were removing the door card, changing the door card or whatnot, you'd pull that off, remove it, replace it, change it. But anyway, back to the mirror. So here's the 3 bolts, Torx 30s. Remove these. The mirror will actually support itself. It's in a channel on the other side, which you'll see in a second. But if you want to, you can have someone on the other side support it while you're doing this. I was quite confident that it wasn't going to fall, but it's all smashed up anyway, so it didn't really matter if it did to me. Last one out. Okay. And then here it comes. So lift it from the bottom. So it's pretty much free of bolts now. You lift it from the bottom, it pops out, and then it's in a channel along the top. Just remove it from the channel. Job done. Out comes the plug. There you go, release. My smashed up mirror, thanks to a van driver, didn't stop. So new one in. Just a reversal of how I got it out there. Plug in first. Channel there that runs along the top. Slot that in. And you'll hear, and then just push it down. And you'll hear it clip in. It's like a little clunk. There you go, that's in. Alrighty. So again, plug back in. That's the mirror. Little locking. That's it. Push that down. Again, wire for the tweeter. Back in. Everything now is obviously just a reversal of what we've already done. 3 bolts back in. Again, you could have someone support it the other side. Probably would at this point, being a new mirror. But there you go. Once one's in, that's absolutely fine. And just do these up. I think I supported it at points. And there you go. Don't over tighten it. But again, just have it hand tight, as tight as you think. But you don't want to strip the thread. Okay. Everything else is just a reversal. There's no need to show that. Reversal of what we've just done. Okay, putting the shroud back on, etc. Okay, putting the facer back on. These things are, again, it's been in my warm house because these things are so thin, these bits of plastic. They snap very easily. So just pop this back on. There's the casing. There you go. Everything back on the other side. Job done. New mirror. Saved myself about 1,800 quid, which is what they quoted me. What a joke. So yeah, much cheaper. Decent job.